Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the build. Today we're getting started on the walls, getting them assembled and lifted into place. Donovan was here a little bit last week and got a lot of the prep work done, so we went through all of the lumber piles for our order and started sorting everything and organizing everything, and he got all the posts prepped as well. So one thing with these is there's always a little bit of slight inaccuracies in the footings. You know, the guys are pretty good at getting them pretty well in the right position, but if they're up or down a little bit, we can adjust for that in the actual posts. So Donovan went around with the laser and checked every single one of the post brackets to see where they're at in the elevation. And most of them are within about a 1/4 inch. So for instance, this one here got set a 1/4 inch too low. You can see it kind of sunk a little bit down in there. So it's either when they were placing it or as it was sitting there in the concrete, it settled a little bit before the concrete fully set up. So to make up for that, since we know it's a 1/4 inch in the wrong direction, we can go up here to where the rafter sits. And this piece here, which is pretty slick, since it's a laminated post, the center piece towards the top here is sent to us loose, so it can be removed, cut to whatever length you need, and then reinstalled. So here is the mark for a 14-foot sidewall, and you can see all we did here was just leave this middle part a 1/4 inch long there, so that way this post is now a 1/4 inch longer and makes up for that 1/4 inch drop in the footing down there. So Donovan did that for all the posts. So here's another one. This one here is a 1/4 inch too high, the bracket. So now this is cut a 1/4 inch short so that it all ends up at the same elevation. This point here where all the trusses are gonna sit is all level across the entire building. We'll put that bucket there. So the first thing we need today are these 40 18-foot 2x4s. Those are going to be some of the girts. And the girts are the pieces that connect all the posts together. There you go. First load of lumber heading over to the building site. Flopping around.
Do some explaining here.
I don't know what. You want to?
Yeah. Why we're doing it?
Because they're too long? Wait.
And why we're being precise about the cut.
Because it's got to all add up to the exact.
I know you get
wall
that,
length.
but you know
Once again, I can make things up that sound right. I'm pretty good at that. So these 2x4s came in at 18-foot, 1/4 inch long, and you're gonna do this yourself. Is that what you mean? You're gonna do the explaining for your own?
Well,
I thought you were giving me direction.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm fine.
You're fine. You do whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna do whatever the hell
I thought you were actually giving me direction. I'm like, oh, this is different. That's kind of nice.
I'm explaining what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. Leave me in the dark like you're supposed to. That makes sense.
Right, like a mushroom. No.
So as with most things, layouts. Talking to the people.
What did the people have to say?
You're doing it wrong.
I know we're doing it wrong.
So as with most things, layout's pretty important. So we got the posts pretty close. We're going to start dialing them in so we have them flush with the end of the brackets, and we have the spacing between the posts pretty well set. And now as we start to put these first round of girts on, that'll allow us to tweak the final position of these posts so that they are exactly where they need to be, exact spacing, and end nice and square. So in theory, with these being 18 feet long and the space being 9 feet, they should break in the middle of every post. Every other post I meant. Yes. The break point should be smack dab in the middle.
Yep, if we line that all up
If
right,
the math works,
and the math works,
sometimes it works.
we'll see if our math works.
So that is looking good. So we're going to start laying all the girts on. So this wall is going to go up in 2 sections. We'll have this section come up, and then we'll have this section over here come to meet it. So we're picking the wall in 2 different picks. Last week, Donovan, when he set up all these posts, did all the layout work on them. So similar to framing a wall, these are the locations of all of the girts on the walls. With the spacing correct, we can go ahead and start laying those girts in place and start actually nailing them on. Okay, we got all the wall girts laid out, so now it's time to start nailing them on with this new nailer thing. This terrifying giant nailer. So these are the 4-inch nails. They're the smallest nails that thing will shoot. That one missed. Is your compressor going to be able to keep up with this thing?
I don't know.
Jeez. Hey, now the gun's heavier. All right, we're ready to stand this first section of wall. Side right now.
Yep.
I'm going to tip over.
Down a little bit, get down. Right there. All the way to the top on this one.
First section of wall is all stood up. We are bracing it off now with the leftover 2x material from the renovation. These are all the boards that were too warped and distorted to use in the house. So now they work fine as bracing. But yeah, the height escalates quickly, like real fast. So those are our temporary bolts for now, and then later on we'll come through, once the whole building is racked in a square, we can go through and through bolt it through the larger holes here.
Good. Back it up just a little bit. Actually, bring your fork up. Good. Down a little bit. Back. Right, down.
So our two halves of the wall need a little persuasion to talking to the people again.
Wait, talking to the people again?
The two halves of the wall need a little persuasion to get back to where they were. So we got some straps. So we're gonna persuade things to slip back together.
Good.
Yeah. So that is the first sidewall all stood up and ready for standing there for the rest of his life. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing and get the other sidewall stood up as well. Back to the board pile.
Put our girdies on and go.
Start with the phrases again. All right, posts are all spaced out. as they needed to be. So now we're going to go back with the girts and get those laid out and nailed on. So the second sidewall is all nailed off and ready to go. We have our division space in the middle here, so we can pick this in 2 sections as we did last time. One thing I'll mention that I didn't yet, on the post spacing, as we're getting these spaced out correctly, the bracket spacings, they're within a 1/4 inch of where they need to be as far as, you know, the spacing distance. What we're really concerning ourselves with is the spacing up here where the trusses are going to land, because we want those to be exactly uniform all the way down, because on our building, this style, we're doing drop purlins instead of nail-on purlins. So the pieces that go across the walls, these are the girts, and then if we were to do this on the trusses up top, we would do the same thing with just a regular purlin, where we just lay the board on top of the trusses and nail it down all the way across where it spans multiple, as we have here. With the drop-in purlins, they're kind of more like joists into hangers, so they're only as long as the space between the 2 posts, and those are all going to be pre-cut. So ideally, every one of these spaces up here where the trusses are, where those purlins are going to be, need to be exactly the same. So that's more what we're concerned with. So this wall is ready to go, and we're going to do that tomorrow. It's getting kind of late in the day, so first thing tomorrow morning, we'll get that side wall looking like this one right here. But it is insane how big this gets and how quickly it gets, I guess, or how quickly this thing gets so big. Because even I was just walking up here from the driveway, and it's just towering over here, and this is only half as tall. It's gonna be standing inside of here. It's gonna be like this giant cavern, because we're not putting a lid on it, so you're gonna have all the way up into the whole trusses, feeling like you're in one giant space. So I'm excited. Day one for us. Super duper exciting. Good morning, everyone. We got kind of a hot day coming in. It's already swampy feeling. Well, we're gonna get started getting this wall stood and plumbed up and whatnot. So just like that one, all over again. Sidewall is up. Now we just gotta do the same thing and pull them together and connect those two portions of wall. Just like we did over here.
Let's get these other two in place before we get too carried away. That is definitely a two-handed gun.
I don't know what you're talking about. They just need bigger hands. Okay. You hang it from your belt? Yeah. Started on the end wall, so we got some really long ones now, because these are going to go all the way up into the trusses. So that center one there is 28 feet long, which is this guy right here. There's a 3 for that end wall. We got 4 going over here on either side of the door. This should start to feel repetitive. These are the girts for the end walls. So these seem to be 20 feet. They're like 20 foot and a half inch or something. So same deal, trim them to exactly 20 and then go lay them on the sidewalls or the sidewall posts. Skip the top.
Ready?
Yeah.
There's about an inch. Good. Mark, is this the top or the bottom of the mark?
This line up here is the top of the
Okay, that's what.
stick. That's right. Top of the story pole. Alright, this wall is ready to go, so time to lift into position. And with this the center post on here being the full height of the whole building, it's going to really show us how tall this thing really is going to be. Yeah. Go back that way a little bit more. Back up just a little bit. Alright, let's get these in the hole if we can get here. Good. Onto the corner posts. Okay, so there's that end wall we just stood. And we're getting this corner post in here. We're installing the girts and it's kind of weaving the corner into the full girt system. So this partial is going to go on next. So there is the other corner installed, or installed enough for now. We're kind of beat, so we're gonna call it a day here. But it's not too bad considering we're planning on starting this week at all. So in 2 days we got that far, which I'm feeling pretty good about. And coming around this side, it's actually starting to feel like the final space too. Like, look at this. That's a lot. That's like a building. So that is gonna do it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the we're gonna name this thing. We gotta come up with a name for this. Please feel free to leave me a comment as always. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.